Hello and welcome, I'm Bert the Stormtrooper, and today we're going to be taking a look at Transformers Generations Combiner Wars Blades, and I love this toy. Released in 2015, this guy is brand new and he's hitting stores right now as of the time of this recording and is currently retailing for approximately $15. So, the next in the set of Protectobots that I am reviewing this week, Blades, is pretty much a straight repaint of the Alpha Bravo figure that we got with the Aerial Bots earlier this year or later last year. I think with the exception of the head, he's got a brand new head. Other than that, he's pretty much a straight up repaint. No changes in the mold to this guy whatsoever. But still a very, very cool figure. In fact, one of my favorite ones in both the Superion set and the Defensor set. Looking at the packaging, once again, as with all the Combiner Wars and the Protectobots that we've been getting, we've got the black background, red lettering. We've got the comic book with the artwork in the back. You can see Blades in the front in his robot mode, a picture of his helicopter mode. He comes with a cannon. He comes with his foot/hand/Gatling guns. Nothing on the side. Tiny type on the bottom. 1 of 5 for Defensor. Again, I am not really doing these in any particular order. You got some artwork of Defensor right there, along with a picture. And then on the back, we've got one more time the diagram. We got all the Protectobots. We've got the product picture of both robot and vehicle mode, and a quick little bio if you want to pause that and read it. And with that, I think it's time to get Blades out of the package and check him out. Just like the rest of his Protectobot buddies, Blades here comes with an instruction sheet that shows you how to get him into all 4 modes, and he comes with his comic book, which is also the background art on his packaging. He's going to have a cool little gun right here, or cannon. He's got this twin Gatling gun. That's also the foot and the arm for the Defensor mode. And of course, you've got Blades himself. Here in helicopter mode, Blades is approximately 7 inches long and about 2 inches tall. And again, this is pretty much the same exact helicopter that we got with Alpha Bravo, just a red helicopter this time. Now, this is one of the few figures where mounting the accessories into the vehicle mode actually makes sense. What I like to do is I like to take the foot mode here, and there's a peg right on the bottom of the helicopter right here, and I like to peg that guy in right there. So he's got these twin Gatling guns on the bottom of the helicopter. That also kind of double like a stand for the helicopter mode, which I think is cool. It just kind of elevates it off the ground a little bit, and I think that looks really nice. And then of course, his cannon right here, I like to take him and put him on this side since he's got all the bullets on this side, and maybe be like a big old 50 cal right there. So mounting the weapons onto the helicopter does not actually look bad for this vehicle. So I kind of dig it. So this is one of those where I do enjoy putting the weapons on him. I think he looks pretty cool. Even though he's a rescue helicopter, he's got all these missiles and Gatling guns and 50 cals and all that stuff on there, which is, of course, not very typical of rescue helicopters. But there you go. I think that looks pretty cool. And, of course, there you go. You've got your Autobot logo, your rescue markings, your red with a white stripe, just like you see on Coast Guard and rescue helicopters right there. And the propellers do spin. So, very nice vehicle, very nice mold on this toy. I really enjoyed it a lot. I liked them with Alpha Bravo, and I like them again with Blades. I really do. So, we'll get into the transformation. We'll go into foot mode first. So, go ahead and just take the Blades and just fold them back like so. Actually, before we do that, why don't we go ahead and just take the whole back wing of the helicopter. You can pop this guy up, and this guy is pegged in. You can see these tabs right here are pegged into these ports up there. So you can bring these guys up and then repeg them right there. And now at this point, you can separate the where the propellers are mounted. Go ahead and separate that from the leg. Actually, we don't really need to do that for leg mode, so you can just keep them right there. That's for transformation in the robot mode and or hand mode. So you can leave those right there if you want. Take the head right here, and you're going to want to go ahead and turn this around so that it's facing forward. That way, when you spin the peg around, the head it's not going to be showing the face. You're just going to see that white piece right there. So repeg that right there, and that's going to be your combination peg. Take the top of the cab right here, or the cockpit. That's going to go straight up like so. Split the front of the cockpit in half, spin them around, and you got a little tab right there with a slot on the side of the fuselage. It's going to tab right in there. And then you're going to bring in your foot and peg it to the bottom of the helicopter. And that is going to be your foot mode. And probably one of the better foot modes for these Combiner Wars figures so far. Now, you can, if you want, you can turn the tail rotor either direction. You can turn it either way you want. Typically, or you can turn it all the way back like so, but it might get in the way of your actual knee. Typically, I just leave it out like that. I usually use it for the arm mode anyway. So, because I have Alpha Bravo as a foot with Superion, with Defensor, I like to use him as an arm. So, because of the arm mode, I usually just leave that out. But there you go. That's your personal preference. You can do it either way you want. So. And then going into the arm mode, we're pretty much going to go into almost completely into robot mode. So go ahead and unpeg where the propellers mount. Go ahead and unpeg those from the top of the fuselage right there. And then we are going to separate the legs of the robot here and here. And then these guys are going to hinge all the way up like so. You've got two pegs right here at these knee joints that are going to tab into those ports right there. So bring those up, tab them in. And then at this point you can turn once again, you can turn the bottom part of the helicopter in any direction that you want. Oh, hang on. You got to bring the head up and over. Go ahead and rotate the head the other way around now so that when you bring it down, the face of the robot is not showing. So there you go. And then you can repeg that right in there. And what is going on? I am not doing this right for some reason. There it goes. Just was not lining it up right. The arms of the robot, you keep those pegged in where they were for the helicopter mode. And then, like I said, you can rotate the waist in any direction that you want. You can make this the front of the forearm, or you can make that the front of the old forearm. It's really your discretion, your preference, whichever way you want to do it. So I'm going to go this way. I think that's the way that the instructions show it. And then just like with the other Combiner Wars figures, go ahead and pop the fingers out on your hand. Bring it down, and since I've been making him the robot's right arm, we'll go ahead and do it this way. So there you go. There is Blades in his arm mode for Defensor. And this is typically the way, and like I said, I've been using him as an arm, and I like to keep that blade out like that. I just think it looks cool with the blade sticking out. So that's just me. Personal preference. You do it either way you want. So there you go. That's the arm mode. And then we'll get rid of the fish right here. And like I said, we're pretty much almost to robot mode at this point. So this is going to be in front of your robot, obviously. Go ahead and push the peg down, turn the head around, unpeg the arms, rotate him at the waist, and separate the legs. And in my case, these legs peg in really tight. This is one figure that's, there you go. You probably heard that really loud. For some reason on mine, these legs, when they peg together, they go on really, really tight. It's almost scary trying to pull them apart. So, and there you go. There's Blades in his robot mode. We'll adjust the camera just a little bit. And again, if you want, you can turn that one way or the other, your preference. One more time, I leave it pointing straight back. I just think he looks better that way. So, that's just me. And there's Blades in robot mode. Here in robot mode, he stands approximately 5.5 inches tall at the top of the head, 6 inches if you want to go up to the top of the tail rotor there. And as far as detail, you come in close and you can see all the detail on him. He looks pretty much like Alpha Bravo did, but in first aid colors, which I think works really, really well for him. He's got those side forearm mounted missiles, which I really, really love. I'm really digging this figure and these colors. I think it just works very, very well for him. As far as articulation goes, pretty much the same as the rest of the Combiner Wars figures that we've seen so far. We've got a ball-jointed head, ball-jointed shoulders. We got a rotation at the elbow along with a 90-degree ratchet. We've got, due to transformation, we've got a swivel, or we got a rotation at the waist. We got ball-jointed hips. We got a swivel at the top of the thigh. Again, we have a knee joint with a nice 90-degree right there, and nothing at the feet. Unless you want to count the toes right here due to transformation. You got a little bit of tilt there due to transformation. So, yeah, there he is. There's Blades. Very, very cool figure. I've said it several times. If I've said it once, I've said it a million times. I really love this mold. And we're going to be seeing him again in the for the Bruticus set. We're going to be seeing him as Vortex. Now, it's unfortunate, I think, that they did not use him for blast off as well, because they ended up using one of the jet molds for blast off, and I think that's kind of a shame. They should have used this guy twice, because obviously Vortex is a helicopter, so there you go. But then the fuselage of this helicopter, I think, lends itself really well to make a shuttle out of that they could have used for blast off. If you remove this this tail part here and just replace it with a tail fin, like a big large tail fin, and somehow work wings into him, I think, and obviously you're going to want to remove the tail rotor here, or not the actual propeller blades. If you do all of that, I think this guy would lend itself really well for a shuttle. So it's a shame that they didn't do that. Hopefully they'll do that in the future. If not, we'll see what some customizers come up with. So we'll give him his weapons once again, so that you can see what he looks like with all his weapons. We'll transform the fist right here. And I really like the way that these dual Gatling guns look. It just looks really, really cool. So there it is. There is Blades in robot mode with all his weapons and ready to go. So I think that is going to do it for Transformers Generations Combiner Wars Blades. What did you think of this figure, and what would you like to see me review next? Let me know by leaving me a comment, give me some thumbs up, subscribe and share with your friends if you like what you see, and I'll talk to you next time.